That was one hell of a video. I know it might not have seemed like it, but I put my literal blood, sweat, and tears into that video. I thought it was only gonna take a week. It took me 2 weeks and 1/2. And don't get me wrong, I'm really happy with how that video turned out. It's just that on one hand, I learned a lot about like what it takes to make a video like that. On the other though, I was hoping to keep up with my schedule of once a week, and that video ended up taking me 2.5 weeks because I wanted to make sure I put something out that I felt was quality. Compared to just getting consistent, I wanted to put something that I was like, hey, I'm proud of this out. I know that the next video like that is gonna go a lot smoother because of how much I learned making this get real, but I think making a video like that, I'm never gonna be able to tell for certain how long it's gonna take, which means that I kind of have to, you know, be prepared for it to take a little bit longer than some of my other videos. Thing is, I want to be able to upload consistently still. I don't want every video that I do to be 2.5 weeks out in the future or whatever. I have a job, other responsibilities on top of the editing, and then besides all of that, I also want to have a personal life. You know, I don't want to just work. What can I say? I'm not trying to kill myself over here. Bree, is there any possible way you can handle all of that junk? There's like so much. How astute of you. All right, here's how things are gonna play out. I'm doing something shrimpler today. We're just gonna do a nice and shrimple video so that I can upload it within a week, put it out there. Next week, I might do another simple video. I might get started on Get Real. I have not decided yet, but I definitely want to have a consistent schedule for you guys. I can't put as much production value, but hey, at least you have something, right? The skills that I learned from last video, I'm bringing into this one. So even though this one's got less effort put in, it's still like definitely better than whatever I was doing at the start of this channel for sure. Oh, by the way, I'm excited to announce that the next Get Real video is going to be getting real about food. Oh, food is so fun. We all love to eat, right? But yeah, that's everything that's going on, and that's yap over. What's up, creeps? No, don't worry. You're still my peeps, but like, it's funny because October, right? Anyway, I'm Bree, and I'm here to do some cosplay for y'all. What the fuck? Is it just me, or like, has October just not felt like October? It feels like, what's the month before October? Hold on, September. It feels like September didn't even feel like September. It feels like we're doing September now. Maybe in November we'll get October if we're lucky. Fucking climate change, man. Besides that though, I'm excited to announce our first tradition here on the channel. It's something that I've been doing on and off throughout my life, but I'm of course referring to cosplay. Oh boy, howdy. I cannot wait. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna be doing a yearly Halloween cosplay. So what am I gonna cosplay this year? I'm gonna be cosplaying Krieg. When I first started going to the gym, it was actually because I wanted to cosplay Krieg. But I mean, clearly you can see that's changed. It's safe to say that I am no longer going for the body type that Krieg has. That being said, I kind of want to honor that wish that I had way back then. And you know what? I might not have the body type, but I figure, hey, what the hell? Let's go ahead and check it off the checklist, right? We'll start this tradition right. My first ever like official cosplay is gonna be Krieg. Somehow a younger version of me's heart is like being fulfilled or some shit. So to get started on the cosplay, I pulled up a picture of the freakishly psyched out shit brick house that we all know and love. There are some obvious physical discrepancies between me and him. And so mainly the cosplay is just going to be me making his gear and wearing it. For his gauntlet, I got a pair of bracers. I'm gonna wear it backwards like this so the laces face up. Because the thing is, I got Werbla create most of the metal components for the outfit, as well as the mask. And so what I figure is that with the bracer upside down like this, it looks like the straps on his arm, and then if I put the metal on top of it, doesn't matter too much that this is a fantasy bracer. I got this generic cloth. It's gonna be the bandage on Krieg's right arm, and also I'm gonna make like a sash for across my upper torso because yeah, I got precious material to hide away. They sell these kits with like buckles and rings and then like belt material. I can make a lot of the extra like strappy stuff with that. So anything that I don't have already, anything where there's like this belt action happening, I'll be able to make something serviceable. The beauty of this cosplay is that Krieg is mostly just showing off his skin, so the only other things that I really need is the pants and the mask. For the pants, I got these like orange cargo pants from Amazon. I mean, they're pretty generic and like they're not at first I was worried they weren't very baggy, but I've got a little bit of extra material here to pull it up. I think I'll also take the time to try and artificially roughen it up a little bit. And then of course we have the Werbla for the mask. Alright, so here we are on the first day of building the cosplay. As you can see, I started out by cutting a hole here and like starting on the arm wrapping. I just decided to cut out one of the folded squares on it because I figured it looked like approximately the right size. Then it was time to do the actual torso part of the cosplay, and let me tell you, I had no idea how I was going to do this part. At first, I started out thinking like I was actually going to do some real tailoring. I was making marks and trying to stick to some kind of design, but at a certain point, I just resolved to start hacking and slashing it and then tying it back together, which really works for the mindset of Krieg. Day 2 was all about the Werbla. Werbla's pretty fun to work with. I was cutting out shapes for like the knee pad and the arms, mask, you know, the works. I kept on burning myself a little bit, so I got this metal tray, but other than that, it went really smoothly. Day 3 was all about making a coffee dye and priming our Werbla. I wanted to give the cloth this vintage, like, weathered look. If it's from the Badlands, it's not going to be white, right? So I used a coffee dye to do that. Then, like I said, just priming all of the Werbla so that we can then paint on it. Plastic will not hold paint unless you prime it first. I got that from painting models. Once your coffee dye is complete, you gotta wash off your cloth and then hang it up to dry. I also managed to fit in a decent amount of painting today as well. Now it's time for the delicious cosplay coffee. Let's see how it tastes. Day 3 now. Here's where I start putting all the finishing touches on the cosplay. So I'm assembling all the pieces, just hot gluing all of our metal plates together and like affixing it to the gauntlet. And then of course also I had to heat up like a garbage knife and then stab it through the Werbla repeatedly to make holes for the straps. So the final day, I just had to spend it actually putting the costume on. Now, the funny thing about this cosplay is, at this point, I had fully decided to treat it like a war casket. I was just gluing myself into it, as you can see here. All of the straps, instead of like putting buckles on, I was just like gluing the straps together. I was like, fuck it, I'll just tear all of this off of me at the end of the day. I still have the cloth to reuse in case I ever need it again, but it's like expressly for the purpose of being weathered, I suppose. Anywho, it was a lot of fun, and yeah, it turned out pretty good, I think. So yeah, that's the cosplay. Here's the final results. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not Krieg, that's for sure. But honestly, I don't think I mind too much. I accomplished what I wanted to do, and for only prepping 1 week in advance and throwing this together so last minute, I think I did pretty okay. Next year, I will definitely get a better head start and try to have the video uploaded by Halloween rather than like having to upload it a few days after because it's November right now. But oh well, I finished the video within a week, which is what I wanted to do. As for whether or not it's time for the next Get Real, I think we're gonna do 1 more week of me just being able to chill out a little bit, because the cosplay was a little bit more stressful than I had imagined it being. All right, if you guys made it this far and you're dying for more content, head on over to my Twitch. This sucker be packing with extra shenanigans. I mean, it's still in a developmental phase, like everything else, but when I'm in these weeks where I'm quote unquote resting, taking it a little bit easier with the content creation, I will be streaming on Fridays from 4 to 7 over on Twitch. YouTube is still going to be my primary content source, and so there will be times where streaming gets put off to the side in favor of finishing a video, but I really want to be able to hang out with my community, and I want to have like an established community vibe, and I think that nothing creates that better than streaming. So yeah, if you want to hang out with me, maybe catch a stream one of these days. Anywho, I'm Bree. Thanks for hanging with me. Bye bye!